Welcome to our video, Is Eating Fat Really Bad for Your Heart? The goal of this video is to explore the common belief that consuming fat can lead to heart disease and other health issues, as well as reveal how certain types of fats can actually be beneficial for your overall well-being. For years, people have been led to believe that a diet high in fat is detrimental to their cardiovascular health. This fear has resulted in an overwhelming number of individuals avoiding any form of dietary fat like it's the plague. But imagine living a life where you constantly worry about every morsel you consume, questioning whether or not it contains too much fat and if it could potentially harm your heart. You might find yourself feeling stressed, anxious, and deprived, all because you're trying your best to maintain a healthy lifestyle. The problem with this belief stems from decades-old research that suggested a correlation between high-fat diets and increased risk for heart disease. This led many experts at the time to conclude that reducing one's intake of fatty foods would ultimately protect against cardiovascular complications. However, what they failed to consider was the fact that not all fats are created equal. Some are actually essential for optimal health. Here's something really interesting. Recent studies have shown that consuming certain types of fats can actually improve heart health. It turns out there are good fats, like monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, found in foods such as avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fish, which provide numerous benefits, including lowering bad cholesterol levels while maintaining good cholesterol levels. These healthy fats also help reduce inflammation throughout the body, another key factor linked with heart disease. So before you swear off all things fatty forevermore, out of fear for your ticker's well-being, join us as we dive deeper into understanding how different types of dietary fats affect our bodies differently, debunking myths surrounding these essential nutrients along the way. So, let's take a deep dive into the world of fats and debunk some myths, shall we? The widely accepted belief that saturated fat causes heart disease is known as the diet heart hypothesis. Interestingly enough, this hypothesis was never definitively proven. It was based on observational studies that demonstrated a correlation between high consumption of saturated fat and an increased risk of heart disease. However, as any scientist will tell you, correlation does not equal causation. When we explore this topic further, we find numerous reviews that challenge the notion that saturated fats are the cause of heart disease. For instance, a comprehensive 2014 review examined data from 49 observational studies with over 550,000 participants, as well as 27 randomized controlled trials with more than 100,000 participants. The conclusion? A higher intake of saturated fat did not increase the risk of heart disease or sudden death. Moreover, a 2015 review analyzed 15 randomized controlled trials involving over 59,000 participants and concluded that reducing saturated fat intake had no statistically significant impact on lowering heart attacks, strokes, or all-cause deaths. With study after study reaching similar conclusions, it begs the question, is fat really the enemy? If we look back at the last century, we've witnessed a dramatic increase in heart attacks and deaths related to cardiovascular disease. But can we pin the blame on fat consumption? Interestingly, heart attacks were rare in the 19th century, even though the diet of most Americans was rich in saturated fats. Since the demonization of saturated fats, such as cheese, cream, and red meats, we've seen a massive increase in the consumption of sugar, processed grains, and vegetable oils made from unsaturated fats, all of which were scarce in the diets of 19th century Americans. When dietary guidelines began to recommend limiting saturated fats, the focus shifted towards promoting the consumption of unsaturated fats. These can be divided into two categories: polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats. Both types can offer health benefits, as they contain essential fatty acids like omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9. These fatty acids are called essential because our bodies can't produce them, so we must get them from our diets. However, these fats aren't always beneficial, and they can sometimes have negative effects on our cardiovascular system. So, as with most things in life, moderation and balance are key when it comes to fats in our diet. Now, let's discuss fats found in sources like nuts, seeds, and soy. In their natural state, these fats can be incredibly beneficial and play crucial roles in our bodies. However, the mass production of vegetable oils can introduce some problems. To create vegetable oils, fats are exposed to high pressure, chemicals, oxygen, and UV light. This process can alter the molecular structure of certain fats, such as omega-6 essential fatty acids. As a result, the fats may lose their health benefits, and when consumed in this altered state, can even become harmful to the body. The reason for this lies in the composition of our cells. The outer layer of our cells, called the cell membrane, is made up of 50% fats, and 25% of that is omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 essentially acts as the building blocks for every cell in our body. When we consume damaged omega-6, our cells may not function optimally. There are over 1 trillion cells in our body, and each one needs undamaged omega-6 to work properly. Without it, there can be a lack of adequate nutrients and oxygen getting into the cell. Moreover, altered fats can damage cholesterol. When cholesterol is damaged, the risk of heart attacks significantly increases. These oils can also cause inflammation, which can impair the function of insulin receptors, potentially leading to type 2 diabetes. This is particularly noteworthy, as diabetics have a substantially increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Despite these risks, the public has been encouraged to use these oils instead of saturated fats. Now that you're aware of the dangers of these vegetable oils, I'd like to draw your attention to another, even more concerning type of fat. This harmful type of fat is known as trans fat, or partially hydrogenated oil. It's produced when vegetable oils are heated to high temperatures, and hydrogen atoms are added. It's commonly used in margarine, microwavable popcorn, and a variety of processed foods. Interestingly, if you place real butter next to margarine, flies won't be attracted to the margarine. This fact alone should make you wonder why margarine has been promoted as a health food for so long. Research has shown that consuming trans fats can lead to a range of negative effects, such as slowing down your metabolism, increasing inflammation, lowering good cholesterol, raising bad cholesterol, causing diabetes, obesity, heart attacks, strokes, dementia, cancer, and inflammation. In light of the overwhelming evidence of trans fats' harmful effects, the Food and Drug Administration banned it. However, it's still allowed in products, as long as it's less than 0.5 grams per serving. Some food manufacturers have lowered their serving sizes to continue using this dangerous fat. Even small amounts of trans fats can be detrimental to your health. For every 2% of calories from trans fat consumed daily, the risk of heart disease rises by 23%. As little as 2 grams of trans fat can be hazardous to your health. Thus, it's important to read food labels diligently and avoid products with the word hydrogenated in their ingredient list. So, what types of fats should you consume? As we mentioned earlier, unsaturated fats can provide incredible benefits when not damaged. Both polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats support cellular function and reduce inflammation. Foods rich in these fats are often associated with cardiovascular health. Now let's delve into the best sources of these healthy fats. First up is extra virgin olive oil, celebrated for its association with the Mediterranean diet and longevity. Extra virgin olive oil has been found to lower inflammation, reduce oxidation of LDL cholesterol, lower blood pressure, improve the lining of blood vessels. Research in the Archives of Internal Medicine noted a remarkably lower mortality rate among those with cardiovascular disease who followed a traditional Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil, nuts, and avocados. Another study in the same journal compared 2 groups of participants with hypertension. One group was given extra virgin olive oil, cold-pressed and not exposed to light, while the other was given sunflower oil, which is easily damaged during the manufacturing process. The group given the extra virgin olive oil experienced a significant reduction in blood pressure, and their need for medication decreased by 48% compared to the sunflower oil group. This study emphasizes the difference between easily damaged oils and oils that retain their natural state. So, make sure your oil is extra virgin to reap all the heart-healthy benefits. Another fantastic source of healthy fats is avocado, also a staple in the Mediterranean diet. Avocados are abundant in monounsaturated fats, which studies suggest can help prevent heart disease. For example, one study on 164 participants with hypertension found that a diet high in monounsaturated fats lowered blood pressure and reduced the risk of cardiovascular disease compared to a diet high in carbohydrates. A 2001 clinical trial revealed that a diet rich in monounsaturated fats improved insulin sensitivity by 9%. This is excellent news for those wanting to avoid cardiovascular disease, as insulin resistance is a major risk factor. So be sure to add avocados to your list of healthy fats. Nuts, in their whole form, are another source of healthy fats. We've already discussed the importance of consuming enough undamaged omega-6 essential fatty acids to ensure optimal cellular function. One great way to achieve this is by eating nuts, such as walnuts, pistachios, macadamias, and almonds. These nuts contain omega-3, 6, and 9 essential fatty acids. Studies indicate that nuts can help prevent heart attacks and strokes by increasing the particle size of LDL cholesterol, commonly known as bad cholesterol. This is noteworthy, as scientists have discovered that particle size testing is a more accurate predictor of heart disease than traditional cholesterol tests. Many people with low cholesterol were still developing cardiovascular issues. A particle size test revealing larger particles indicates a healthy cardiovascular system, while small, dense particles suggest a high risk for heart disease. An increasing number of cardiologists find that particle size tests provide a clearer picture of arterial health. A review in the International Journal of Cardiology explains that individuals with low levels of HDL cholesterol, good cholesterol, and a greater quantity of small, dense LDL particles are at an increased risk of coronary heart disease events, regardless of their total LDL cholesterol levels. Researchers also discovered that small LDL cholesterol is more prone to oxidation. When particles are oxidized, they can no longer function optimally, leading to increased inflammation and subsequently heart disease. But eating nuts seems to help create larger particle sizes. A 2015 study with 54 participants found that pistachios increased LDL particle size. Moreover, a 2013 study examining the Mediterranean diet discovered that individuals who consumed nuts experienced a significant decline in small LDL particles and an increase in large LDL particles and HDL cholesterol levels. Those who followed the nut-enriched diet also experienced a decrease in waist circumference, a major risk factor for heart disease. This reduction suggests that their risk of cardiovascular issues decreased. This is encouraging news in the fight against heart disease, and a great reason to include nuts in your diet. Now that we've discussed the importance of particle size when it comes to LDL cholesterol, let's take a closer look at saturated fat and its impact on particle size. Contrary to popular belief, saturated fats can also have a positive effect on heart health when consumed in moderation. Studies have shown that saturated fats can increase the particle size of LDL cholesterol, which is beneficial for cardiovascular health. For example, a 2010 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that when participants replaced carbohydrates with saturated fat in their diets, the size of their LDL particles increased, reducing the risk of heart disease. Moreover, saturated fats, found in sources such as grass-fed butter, coconut oil, and high-quality meats, can provide essential nutrients for the body. These fats are a source of energy, help with hormone production, and assist in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. It's essential to emphasize that the quality of saturated fat matters. Aim to consume saturated fats from whole, minimally processed foods, rather than processed or fast foods, which can contain harmful additives and unhealthy fats. In conclusion, it's crucial to strike a balance in your diet and consume a variety of healthy fats, including monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, and even saturated fats in moderation. As you now know, some fats are beneficial for heart health, while others can be detrimental. So, reevaluate your diet, focus on high-quality sources of healthy fats, and stay informed about the latest research. By doing so, you'll be taking a significant step towards maintaining a healthy heart and enjoying a long, fulfilling life. Remember, it's not just about avoiding bad fats, but also incorporating good fats to support your overall health and well-being. Fascinatingly, it seems that consuming saturated fats can also increase the particle size of LDL cholesterol. In fact, when consumed as part of a diet low in carbohydrates and sugars, saturated fats may actually support our cardiovascular system. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition discovered that a diet high in saturated fat led to an improvement in LDL cholesterol particle size. This information is gradually reaching the public. In 2015, the USDA Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee reviewed the research on fat, heart disease, and weight. Consequently, the government removed any limits on dietary fat and cholesterol. However, 35 years of opposing information has left its mark. But it's not too late to make changes. I encourage you to consume a diet rich in healthy fats. It's essential to note that combining a high-fat diet with too many carbohydrates can be harmful. Instead, opt for a diet filled with plenty of vegetables, proteins, and good sources of fats, like the ones we've mentioned. So now, you're armed with the truth about fats. Let us know in the comments below which heart-healthy fats are your favorites. And don't forget to like this video, ring the bell for future notifications, and subscribe to our channel for more practical tips on healthy cancer-fighting foods for overall health and wellness. We wish you a healthy and happy day.